All right, we are going to talk about Kendra and Hank this week. I know, I couldn't tell you why I felt the urge to talk about them this week. A lot of people were asking right after my Hugh Hefner series, which was literally my first series. But I just ignored that because honestly, I just felt like I had completed something. I wanted to move on to other topics, but I'm ready to pick it back up now. So, birth charts. Kendra is a Gemini Sun, Aries Moon, Gemini Mercury, Taurus Venus, and Cancer Mars. And we don't know her rising, but if you want my guess, I think that she's a Sagittarius rising. Hank, on the other hand, is a Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, Libra Mercury, Leo Venus, and Scorpio Mars, and I didn't see his rising sign either. But I feel like maybe I could see him being like a Libra rising. I don't really know, but I'm seeing Libra. That's what my heart's telling me. If you haven't seen my Hugh Hefner series and Playboy series, I would recommend watching at least the parts on Girls Next Door. It's only like 5 or 6 parts, just for background reference. It's the first playlist on my on my page here, and it is on my YouTube channel. Anyways, we know that Kendra dated Hugh Hefner, and that's really where the story starts, so we're gonna pick up there. So March 21st, 2008 is the Playboy Golf Scramble, and Kendra is currently dating Hef, along with Holly and Bridget, Girls Next Door. And Hank was invited because he's a professional athlete. At the time, he was playing for the Philadelphia Eagles football. Please don't ask me to elaborate anymore, because I don't know anything about football. Anyways, this was when they first met. Here's the picture of it. And Kendra has said that she was never in it for love with Hef, which they met when she was 18 and he was 78. So I feel like that is a little bit obvious, but you never know. She did sleep with Hef, but she never considered it a forever thing. Partially because he had way less years left than her, and 2 other girlfriends, by the way. And she did say, before Hank even, that she dated outside of Hef, but had respect by not going public with any of them. And basically, she would just keep any relationships a secret. She would meet them at hotels instead of sleeping with them in Hef's own home. Very respectful. So basically what I'm saying is that Kendra was on the market, even though she wasn't on the market. She was on the market when Hank met her. But as early as September of 2008, which was, I don't know, March, April, May, June, I don't know, some months later, there was rumors that she was dating Hank, even though she was still living in the Playboy Mansion and supposedly still dating Hugh Hefner. Good old Perez Hilton was saying that they were dating, and there was also sources coming forward and saying that they were engaged. Regardless of what the actual situation was, people seemed to be agreed upon that everybody was just kind of keeping quiet about the situation because everyone likes Kendra, and probably because they understand the position she's in. But however, good timing considering the rumors, in late October of 2008, Kendra moves out of that Playboy Mansion. And there was not even a hint of bad blood between Kendra and Hef. They clearly both knew what their relationship was and where they stood with each other. That was not the same situation that Holly and Hef had, but that's a whole nother story, and probably one that I won't be telling just because she talks about it a lot. She's talked about it multiple times and been very open and honest about it. So I feel like just go and support her. I've read both of their books, by the way, and they're fantastic. So November 1st, 2008, Hank proposes to Kendra at the Space Needle. And this was literally days after she moved out of the mansion. So if we had any illusion that she was not dating him while also dating Hef, that's gone now. And Hef did make a statement about it. He just said that she met somebody who she would like to spend the rest of her life with, and he seemed to be okay with it. I don't think he was in the dark at all about what their situation was, and probably even that she was dating Hank or seeing other guys on the side. And also at that point, he had moved on to the Shannon twins, who were a fresh 19. In February of 2009, we find out that Kendra is getting her own show, Kendra. And of course, people were pretty excited about this because her relationship with Hank had been so secret. She had just moved out of the Playboy Mansion and out of the Playboy bubble. So we didn't really know what she was going to say about it. And I think people were honestly most excited to see what she was going to say about Hef, about Playboy, about living in the mansion, about the other girls, and honestly what her personality would look like outside of the Girls Next Door show and outside of Playboy when she actually had control over her own image. Now, in April of 2009, Kendra is at one of Hugh's parties with Hank, and reporters noticed that she wasn't drinking. And of course, they had to ask if she was pregnant because that's one of the reasons that you might not be drinking. But her response was, no, God, no, 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 no. Famous last words, am I right? In the meantime, on June 7th of 2009, her show Kendra premieres, and it apparently actually had the highest ratings of a premiere on E! Since the Anna Nicole show. That includes the Kardashians, guys. Wow. Also, if you haven't seen my Anna Nicole series, you should go watch it. It's on my playlist. It's on my YouTube. It's pretty good, I have to say. If I do say so myself, I spent a lot of time on that one. And in the next part, Kendra's words from April will be coming back to haunt her. In a good way, depending on how you look at pregnancy. And let's recall that at the Playboy party, she said that she was not pregnant. But then, June 2009, June 10th to be exact, she makes a blog post to tell us that she is, in fact, pregnant. Which, I'm not gonna bash her at all for lying the first time, because I get why people don't tell early in the pregnancy. That's obvious. So she said, so the rumors are true, I am pregnant, with so many exclamation points, because it's a blog post from 2009. And she said that they were excited and they were just waiting for the right time to say something, and her publicist said that she was about 12 weeks along at that time. And shortly after that, on June 27th of 2009, Kendra and Hank get married. And what could possibly be a more romantic location than your ex-boyfriend's house? Yes, they did get married at the Playboy Mansion. And there were rumors that Hef was actually going to walk her down the aisle, but her brother ended up doing it in the end. So I'm just saying, it could have been a stranger event. Honestly though, Hugh Hefner was a huge part of her life. So was Playboy. It's where she met him. So it does make sense to have it at the Playboy Mansion also. I see where she's coming from. Would I do it? Still no, but I see her reasoning. And yes, she did dance with Hugh at the wedding, as you can see. People always get mad at me when I call him Hugh, and they're like, his name is Hef. That's a nickname. Her and Hugh danced at the wedding. I believe he was the second dance, in place of the father. It's an interesting relationship dynamic, for sure. And then September 17th of 2009, Hank signs with the Indianapolis Colts. So they're moving to Indianapolis. Now, Kendra was about 7 months pregnant at this point, so that is a huge transition at that point in a pregnancy. And it was a huge transition for them both, I'm sure, but especially Kendra. And on December 11th of 2009, their first child is born, also named Hank Basket. I believe he's the fourth. And Kendra did say that she suffered from postpartum depression after giving birth, which is extremely common for new mothers. And with living in a completely new city, away from your family, that's going to be a hard transition. I'm sure it only made it harder. She said that she felt devastated and helpless, and that she wasn't really taking care of herself. She was just kind of struggling in general, and as a result, their marriage was suffering. According to Kendra, they would have huge blowout fights, and nothing would ever get resolved, and then they would even sleep in separate rooms sometimes. And again, postpartum depression, extremely common. I definitely feel for her. I can't even imagine how hard that would be. Regular depression is hard enough. Regular depression with a new child, probably harder. And it was about to get even harder. May 26th of 2010, a tape of Kendra's is leaked. And she has said this was from a long time ago. She was 18 at the time. It was her high school boyfriend. And she said, at the time, I wasn't a celebrity and I didn't even know I was going to be a celebrity. Like I said in my Paris series, we all have photos or videos of ourselves, not necessarily sexual, that we took with the intention of only ourselves seeing it. We probably would be a little bit embarrassed if other people saw, the picture of your tonsils that you took because you thought you might have strep, So let's not be too judgmental here. And of course, this really hurt Kendra. It's not something that she wanted out there. It hurt their relationship. And she said it was the hardest time of their lives at the time. And she said multiple times in interviews that she was just so shocked that somebody would leak it when she has a child now, which to me, I'm just shocked that somebody would leak it, period. I feel like there's no child add-on needed to that. I'm just shocked. And there were a lot of rumors from the minute that there was even a hint of a tape out there that Hank was divorcing her over it, but those rumors were not true. Hank was understanding, as he should be, considering she didn't want it out there and this is a traumatic experience for her. But she did say that it's hard on him because it's another guy, of course, and it's hard on him because of our son and everything, which is fair. She was also very concerned that people would look at her like a star, and was just very clear and adamant about this video not defining who she was. She did try and get it taken down with her lawyers, and supposedly the settlement that they reached was $680,000 and 50% of the sales, which, I mean, you might say, oh, why did she accept the money and didn't get it taken down? But at that point, everybody's pretty much seen it. The damage is done. You might as well get some profit. And then March 12th of 2010, Hank signs with the Philadelphia Eagles, which is who he was originally with when they met. He's going from the Colts back to the Eagles now. And that is all I can say on the matter of football. So they did move back to Philadelphia for this, but that was not going to last long. Because September 21st of 2010, Hank was released from the Eagles. And after this, he signed with the Minnesota Vikings. And this time, he went to Minneapolis just by himself. And it didn't seem like this had anything to do with their relationship in any way. It was just easier. She had a baby. She was still filming, for him to just go by himself and do long distance for a little. Intention, though, was that Kendra would move to Minneapolis. Why can't I say Minneapolis? I'm so sorry, anybody who's from Minneapolis. The intention was that she would move there. And the report said that she really wanted to. They're a little happy couple. But on March 3rd, 2011, we found out that the Vikings did not end up signing Hank. And listen, I don't know a lot about football, but I do know that at this point he did not have a team, and this was the end of his time in the NFL. And supposedly at that point, Kendra actually fired her assistant and had Hank kind of take on that role and help her out with stuff, which I can't decide if I think it's cute or not. Let me know in the comments. But according to Kendra, Hank had a huge identity crisis afterwards because his career was over. And now he was also at home all of the time. He was apparently having bad anxiety, depression, having issues with alcohol and substances, just generally not doing very well. And Kendra also said that within their relationship, it was always a competition between them of who had it harder, kind of the struggle Olympics. You know, when she was pregnant, she's like, hey, I have it so much harder. When his career ends, he says, oh, I have it so much harder. But I feel like maybe that's not the most healthy dynamic. And now, in December of 2011, the network, starts rebranding. And we're going to talk about this briefly. I thought this was just so interesting because looking back, I can really see the rebrand, but at the time, I feel like I didn't even notice it. I was so young. But said they did some market research and they found that people felt that is a guilty pleasure and not necessarily one people like to admit they watch. Listen, if you're out there, if you're watching this, I'm blessed. But I would just like to say that I am proud to watch you, even at your trashiest. I pledge allegiance to Network. Please hire me. Anyways, they said that they wanted to take in a different direction and get rid of the more Playboy trashy element and give it an upgrade. Basically, they wanted us to see celebrities in a more chic way versus what reality TV was at the time, if we remember. And honestly, I feel like where you can see this the most is in Keeping Up with the Kardashians. If you watch the first few seasons, it's very much more down to earth. They're real people. There's humor. There's some trashy reality TV in there and some elements of celebrity life, but they definitely seem like real people. As the seasons go on, you start to see them more as like influencers. Even their day-to-day life seems to be glamorous. And everything about their life is that clean, chic aesthetic where they seemingly have it all together, even though this is supposed to be a reality show about their life and they're supposed to have struggles. Even at the depths of their struggles, they have it all together. Okay, I'm literally still laughing from the burping incident. I'm literally crying. I'm not crying don't think that I'm upset. I'm not upset. Anyways, this has been a very real day for me on TikTok. Anyways, what were we talking about? Network rebranding? Let's get back to it. Anyways, if you're interested in the marketing aspect of it, of rebranding and stuff, at Cozy Akili on here does some really great videos on the marketing of elevated casual. He's fantastic. But anyways, as you can see, Kendra wasn't really fitting into their vision anymore. Which, by the way, I do feel like the current is swinging more towards the old reality TV, trashy TV vibes now, and I think people kind of like that more. I think you can see that with the rise of shows like Love Island, even though it's starting to become more elevated as well. I think people prefer the old reality TV now. I think the trend's swinging back that way. So then March 21st of 2012, Kendra announces that the show Kendra is canceled. She said that they went in a different direction, so in a way, I kind of lost a little hope. Basically, we're seeing this rebranding in action, and Kendra was on the chopping block. But she did have a new show coming out. Yay, Kendra. It was going to be called Kendra on Top, and it was going to be with a different network. And on June 5th of 2012, we see Kendra on Top premiere. And she said that she got the name for the show because everyone said, Kendra, you're the most fit. You're the best wife. You've got the best family. Everyone's been saying those words to me, so we summed it all up. And the most humble. Just kidding. I mean, if you have all of that stuff and everybody else thinks you do too, I mean, that's just an observation. So the new show is going well for Kendra. We're watching it. I have not seen it because you can't watch it anywhere without buying it, but it's going well. And in the summer of 2013, Kendra tells us that she and Hank want to have another baby. And she was not saying that she was pregnant. She was just saying that they're trying for another kid now. But we find out on October 17th of 2013 that she is in fact pregnant again. However, a couple weeks later, rumors did come out that she was hanging out with her ex, Sean Merriman, without Hank knowing. And the rumors didn't say anything about hooking up. Blind item sites, different story, they did. But the regular tabloids didn't say anything about hooking up. They just said that it caused a lot of problems between them. Which, obviously, hanging out with your ex, especially without your significant other knowing, is always going to be kind of weird. That was in late 2013. And now, in April of 2014, late April 2014, there's an incident with Hank. And I'm going to tell y'all his side of the story now, but we'll hear the other side in a minute. So according to Hank, basically he saw some people smoking some herbs outside of a grocery store, went up to them, asked them where they got it, and they pointed him in the right direction. So he goes to this location, he knocks on the door, a woman answers the door. So then he went inside and he went to the bathroom, and he says when he came out, he saw two trans women making out naked in front of him, one being the woman who answered the door, the other just another girl. After that, he said that the first woman who had answered the door went up to him and started touching him inappropriately, and he said that he just froze. He claimed he didn't engage in anything, but left almost immediately after that happened. And he said that he was afraid to tell people, even Kendra, and felt a lot of shame about it because I was the alpha male. I could do anything to protect my family, but I couldn't protect myself. And this is all while Kendra was about to give birth. And like I said, he did not tell Kendra at the time. He didn't tell her for quite a while until it was really too late. So May 16th of 2014, they had their second child, Elijah. It's a girl. But then about a month later, in mid-June of 2014, Kendra gets a call from her agent about a story coming out in the press. And I think we all know what story that's going to be. She said that her agent told her that there was a story going around the media outlets that Hank had cheated on her with a trans woman. And by the way, even though every news outlet seemed to need to make the distinction that she was a trans woman versus just being a woman, because she is, Kendra said that it makes no difference to her because cheating is cheating. And I love that, because cheating is cheating is cheating. Doesn't matter, gender, sexuality, it's just cheating. Anyways, her agent also told her that the person who was selling the story had taken a polygraph test, so you know it's reliable. Which is just not the case. In case y'all are wondering, polygraph tests are not that accurate. And Kendra said that at the time she was sitting there on her couch or wherever, I don't know, she didn't say where she was sitting, sorry. I added that detail in for imagery. But she was sitting there with her newborn baby next to her husband, and she just laughed because she thought, that's not true, he didn't cheat on me. But she did ask him, and he said, no, of course not. Going off of his side of the story, did he lie to her? No, but should he have told her maybe? Yes, he should have told her. If his side of the story is the truth, I understand not wanting to come forward. I get it. I get the shame. I totally understand. Should he have told her before it came out, though, when he knew it was about to get in the news? Probably. That would have been good damage control. Hindsight's 2020. Either way, whatever your opinion is on that part of it, June 24th, 2014, reports come out that Hank cheated on Kendra with a woman named Ava Sabrina London. So what did Kendra do? Well, first, she flushed that wedding ring right down the toilet. Perfect. Also kicked him out. Amazing. Now you might be thinking that that's kind of an extreme response. If you are, and you believe in astrology, she's a Cancer Mars and a Taurus Venus. I don't need to say any more. The woman is sensitive. Why? How dare you? And if you don't believe in astrology, again, how dare you? Nobody wants to hear that. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know Hank's side of the story yet. All she knows is what she's heard. And I'm just saying that I kind of love a vindictive woman. But again, just to make the distinction here, we've told Hank's side of the story. He hasn't told that to Kendra at all. So all she's getting is, your husband cheated on you, right there in the press. And even though he was still denying it, according to Kendra, she knew. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and clearly he wasn't telling her the whole truth. Something was going on. So she was unhappy. And by the way, Kendra on Top was still filming during all of this, and it was fully in the show. Anyways, that same day, Ava Sabrina London, here she is. She does an interview with the National Enquirer to tell them her side of the story. So she said that Hank had reached out to her after she had posted a YouTube video, and they exchanged information, including her address. She said she gave him her address around April 22nd, 23rd. And she said that he told her his name was Steve or something like that. Not Hank Basket, clearly. That makes sense. And according to Ava, when he got to their house, she was getting out of the pool with her girlfriend and had no idea that he was going to show up. He just kind of showed up. After that, they hooked up, the details of which I cannot share on this app. But she did say that he definitely knew that she was trans. They got well acquainted. And apparently he left her $500 afterwards. So after the cheating scandal came out in the summer of 2014, Kendra reached out to her mother. Now, they had not talked in a while. I don't know how close they were at the time. They're definitely not close now, and we'll get into that later. But Kendra's mom said that she was there for Kendra the second she needed her. That was short-lived, though, because Kendra suspected her mom of selling a story to the press, the one about her flushing her wedding ring down the toilet, so she basically avoided her at all costs after that. Now, in August of 2014, more reports come out about the Kendra on Top content, which, what's going to happen? We don't know yet. We haven't seen it on the show yet, so we are getting reports of possibilities of filming. There was a barbecue apparently in the show, and this source was claiming that it was staged and that they were actually still on terrible terms and Hank was sleeping on the couch. But the network, of course, was still claiming it's very real. You see them going through all their ups and downs. Of course, the network is going to claim that it's real. But it could have been. The source also said, though, that Hank wants things to work out between them and still hopes that they will. He'd do anything to get her back. But supposedly, Kendra was not having it, was getting ready to file for divorce, really just waiting until the season ended, but was enjoying herself being single at this point, supposedly. So then at the end of August, Kendra's mom talks to the tabloids about her daughter. She said that she felt very used by Kendra and that she'd been there when Kendra needed help, and that the reason that Kendra cut her off was because she thought that her mom was talking to the press, which she currently is. She also claimed that Kendra on Top was staged, specifically that in the show, Kendra reaches out to her estranged father after the whole cheating scandal, and she said that they definitely just added that in for more drama and content, and that wasn't something that Kendra would have ever done on her own. And her exact quote was, "Those two are so caught up in the show. It's all Kendra thinks about. It's disgusting, especially when you're hurting your own mother. I'm there for you when you need me the most, and this is how you pay me back? I can't do this anymore. I love my kids more than anything, but when a television show becomes more important than your relationship with your mom, it's time to realize that your priorities are messed up." Now, is it really my place to comment? No, but I don't shy away from getting into other people's business when they put it in the tabloids themselves. And my specific point is, why do you put it in the tabloids? If you knew that she was mad at you for going to talk to the tabloids, the logic, I'm not understanding it. I think it was just anger. I don't know that there's that much logic behind it. She also went on Facebook after that in classic mom fashion to rant and vent and said that she felt hurt and disrespected. So we still have the cheating scandal fresh on our minds. Kendra's mom is venting to tabloids, and in September of 2014, Kendra does an interview. And this interview is with none other than E! who I pledge allegiance to. So first of all, she told the whole story of her finding out, and she also addressed the rumors that they were making the drama bigger for their show, and she said, "It is the most insulting thing out of all of this, that people think that this is fake. I would never do this to myself. I would never degrade myself like that." And lastly, she talked about her current feelings on it, and she said, "Yes, I'm seriously mad at Hank because I know something happened. I've come close to divorcing him already." But she also said that she was willing to move on and forgive him, and that she really just didn't want to be without him, so they were doing couples therapy. He was also doing therapy separately, And she said, I don't know if him going to therapy means he's guilty. I'm willing to forgive him even if he did it. Which I feel like therapy could work on either Hank's side of the story or Ava's side of the story. There's a lot of reasons to go to therapy. I probably should. So pretty soon after that interview in November, Kendra goes on a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. From what I gather, it's like Survivor, but just British and all celebrities. And after the show ended in February of 2015, February 22nd, they have a reunion for the show. And here's some pictures that come out from it. Seems like Kendra might be kissing her co-star. And by the way, his name is Jimmy Bullard. He is a soccer player, professional soccer player. Or football player, if you're from anywhere other than the US. You're welcome! And feel free to bully me in the comments for doing that. It was kind of weird. As long as it's loving. If you don't add a heart emoji, I'll know. And yes, Hank saw this and he called Kendra and was like, hey, you kissing your co-star? And Kendra said that they did not kiss and that it was just a bad angle and that he was just being European. He's just being European. Hank did not love that though, and he called it a double standard. And I also saw some reports afterwards that said that she was saying, I love Jimmy, and yes, I do want to kiss him. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, different. Different than the first thing that she said. So, in March of 2015, a preview of Kendra on Top comes out where she's saying that she's talking to other guys. Supposedly, she said, I just went through some shit. I deserve some fun, okay? I just want to be happy again. I want to laugh again. I want to be back to being Kendra. And she was doing this without Hank knowing, apparently, but she said that the danger just feels good. Of course, for Hank, that was hurtful in the way that she was handling the situation, but I think he was in a difficult position. Their relationship was in a difficult position. And in June of 2015, we see Kendra and Hank on Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars Edition. This was pre-filmed, though, of course. And as you can probably guess by the title, they were basically doing couples therapy. And eventually in the show, Hank did reveal his side of the story with Ava Sabrina London. While they were on the show, though, Kendra did have to come back for a while because her mom was planning to write a tell-all book about her. And I don't know all the details of this because you cannot watch this on any streaming service unless you buy it, so I'm not doing that. And in an incredibly typical 2015 mom move, she also made a dramatic Facebook post about it where she said, it will be factual and tell the entire story from my eyes. Get ready for hearing some things that may take a certain someone down off of her pedestal. And Kendra obviously didn't want her to write this book, but she said, not because I'm fearful, I just want her to remain hopeful with the relationship with me. And basically like, Mom, if you write a tell-all book, I don't know if we can mend this. And supposedly her mom was also on Marriage Boot Camp and they had a fight like on the show. And in this fight, Kendra accused her mom of leaking stories to the press. We know that Kendra was always suspicious that her mom did that. That's what her mom said when she vented to the tabloids last time. And in response, her mom threatened to release their private text to the media. Which, like, if you want her to believe that you didn't do that, maybe don't threaten to do that during your fight. Confusion for me. They also fought about Hank, though. Kendra's mom said that when Kendra initially told her about Hank, he said to her, I want Kendra at all my home games. Kendra's going to stop the show and she's not going to do any more appearances. My radar from that point on was up about him. And her mom's point was essentially that she felt like Hank was too controlling over Kendra at the start. And they also aired a lot of this drama on Kendra on Top, including Kendra saying that her mother was emotionally abusive, that she'd reached out to her numerous times and tried calling her, wanted to do therapy with her, and her mom always refused, and that she thinks her mom felt like she lost her when she married Hank, essentially. So July 1st of 2015, Hank does an interview with People to tell his side of the whole cheating scandal. First, he told his entire story about it. He talked about why he hid it, the shame that he was dealing with. But he still completely denied that he ever met her online or that they hooked up at all. He did say, though, that he messed up and that he really regretted everything. And Kendra also talked about it, and she said that he was very naive and gullible, but basically it seemed like she'd forgiven him. There was also a tape that had come out of Hank trying to keep Ava quiet about it, and Kendra talked about it. She said, I wouldn't have pissed off that predator either. And basically, she gets why he didn't talk. She clearly believes his side of the story. And they also both said that while they didn't consider it cheating, he was not loyal because he hid it for so long and denied it initially. However, later in July, we see them in Mexico, enjoying Mexico with their kids. Seems cute, seems happy. Kendra also posted on Instagram with Hank in July, and the caption said, "This is the love of my life, a true man. I believe in forgiveness and I believe in him. I take my vows very serious and won't let people's beliefs get in my way of what I know. Everyone that truly knows Hank knows the truth, and everyone who doesn't creates their own ideas, and that's okay, but don't F with me and what I love and stand for. Love the support, but all the other 2 cents can kiss my ass." Now let's fast forward to April of 2016. Kendra and Hank go on the Steve Harvey show. And while they were there, of course, the cheating scandal came up. But Kendra also revealed that she had had basically an emotional affair with a guy from the past, just over the phone and texting, but there were emotions there. And Hank said that he told her, "You go on out and me and the kids will still be here, so you can make your decision. I'll be here comfortable. Go play around if you want." But they seem to be doing a lot better, and in June of 2016, Kendra posted on Instagram for their anniversary with this caption. She talked about how fast the time had gone, first of all, and then she said, "We've been through ups and downs, but getting through those down and surviving them the way we did is rare these days." And she also said, "Our kids will believe in love and forgiveness because of us showing them it's possible." And Hank also posted a sweet caption about the ups and downs and how thankful he is for Kendra. But a year later, it was reported that they were still having problems because in August of 2017, people saw them fighting in their car, like a huge argument. And then sources were saying that they didn't seem happy at all unless there was a camera there, and that she barely looks at Hank otherwise. And whatever the truth to that was, in March of 2018, Kendra files for divorce. Supposedly, they were really unhappy and felt uncomfortable in the marriage, and they had been fighting a lot, so not doing great. And shortly after that, in April, Kendra posted on Instagram to say that they were getting divorced, and she said, "I will forever love Hank and be open, but for now we've chosen to go our own ways. I'm beyond sad and heartbroken because I did believe in forever. That's why I said yes, but unfortunately too much fear has gotten in the way. Thank you, Hank, for a beautiful 8 years of marriage and 2 beautiful kids. I feel so thankful and blessed." And if that doesn't make you sad, she also later in April posted about it being her last day married to Hank and said that she would always love him and that we are told to make sacrifices in life if it's true love. Well, in this case, it's me. I want to see happy Hank again. I miss that. Love wins in this case. It just looks a little funny. I love the way she handled it. Very sweet caption. Breaks my heart a little. And Hank told TMZ that there would always be hope there, that maybe they could rekindle. Later, in May of 2018, Kendra posts an Instagram with a caption about moving on. And in it she says, "She's hurt because the world I thought was promised to me forever is now coming to an end." And that she's working and growing and trying to be happy with this new life now. And we think that that's the resolution and it's over. But it's not, because in June of 2018, June 5th, Kendra starts tweeting out that Hank is recording her. So Kendra said, "Why is Hank recording me right now? Please tell him to leave me alone and stop." And according to Kendra, he was blaming her for his football career ending and for the cheating scandal. And she said that she was just trying to keep things calm and civil between them, but the recording, she just not going to deal with that. And obviously there wasn't a ton that her Twitter followers could do, but people were very concerned. And then she deleted all the tweets. And instead she tweeted out another little message saying, "I tried so hard. I did everything by the book and loved, and I get shit on. I'm so sorry for you all to feel awkward right now. When I was being recorded, I felt threatened. Have a good day." And after that, she put out one more tweet that said, "When you feel like you give the best of yourself 24/7 and someone's trying to take the best of you, it's hard to breathe." And all the reports in the press were kind of echoing this series of tweets, and that people were saying that they were just really toxic for each other at this point. And after that, it seems like maybe they got some space from each other. I'm not quite sure, but Kendra was definitely dating or rumored to be dating people. She made a joke about going celibate once. And then in February of 2019, their divorce was finalized. And Kendra made an Instagram post saying the depression is gone finally, she's feeling better, and sometimes things happen for a reason. Anyways, I hope that they're both happy. I hope that their children are happy. From everything I've read, they're really good at co-parenting together, which I love. And that is the end of the series. And I really hope y'all enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment any additions you might have or any thoughts or opinions. I'd love to hear them, as well as any series suggestions or new video suggestions in general. And if you want to see more of me and more of my series, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week with another one.